Hello, today we're going to learn about the coordinate plane. This picture here represents a coordinate plane. Notice we have an x-axis here and a y-axis here. Where they meet is called the origin, known as 0, 0. When your x and y axis meet, it forms four quadrants which create my coordinate plane. We have quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. Notice quadrant 1 here is what we are going to focus on in 5th grade. Quadrant 1, my x and y values are only positive values. Notice here we have my x-axis here and my y-axis here of all positive values which create quadrant 1. That is what we are going to focus on in this video today. Here we have a coordinate plane with just quadrant 1. Notice all my values along my x-axis and my y-axis are positives. We have my origin right here, which is 0, 0. On this coordinate point, there are lots of points here that we are going to work with today. These points are on my coordinate plane, and they are all represented with a capital letter. Now, here in this question, it says, tell what point is located at each ordered pair. My point is described as an ordered pair, which is created by an x value with a comma and then my y value. So those numbers really mean something. Those numbers create the point, or known as my ordered pair. Now here I have 4, 2. My x value is 4, my y value is 2. So I'm going to first always start at my origin at 0. Here we have a positive x value, so I'm going to move to the right. Now I like to think of this as I'm walking in somewhere, possibly maybe a hotel. I'm walking inside my hotel and I see that there are 8 people to help me check in. I'm going to go to the 4th person because that x value is 4. Then I check in and they tell me I'm on the 2nd floor of the hotel. That means I'm going to go upstairs 2 floors and it's going to drop me at point D. Notice I started at my origin, I went to the right 4 spaces and then up 2, or I walked inside my hotel, then I went up 2 floors, leaving me at point D, which I'm representing with a capital letter D. Now, I can confirm that this is the correct answer because if I look down, I see that my x value is 4, and if I look to the left, I see that my y value is 2, which is exactly what was represented by this ordered pair. Now I'm going to do the same thing for 7, 8. I'm going to always start at my origin, or 0, and I'm going to go to the right 7 spaces, which is my x value. I'm going to stop at 7 because that was my x value. Then I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to go up 8 spaces because that's my y value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in fact, I land on point H. So I'm going to write H in as a capital letter here on the line as my answer. Confirming that H is correct by looking at H, and I look down at my x value and I see 7. I look to the left at my y value and I see 8, which in fact we have x is 7 and my y value is 8. And notice my ordered pair is represented as x, y with parentheses around it. That represents the point on my coordinate plane. Now, in this next few problems here, we have the same coordinate plane with the same points. However, it's asking a different question. This says, write the ordered pair for each given point. I'm given point A. My goal is to first identify point A on my coordinate plane, which in fact it is right here. I look down at my x value and I see the number 8. So I'm going to first represent that as the first number in my ordered pair. Now I need to find my y value. So I'm going to look at the left and I see that it hits 7 along the y-axis. Now to help you identify this, you can always label your x and y-axis here and know that an ordered pair is x, comma y. So make sure this is written in the correct order, or unfortunately your problem will not be correct. So here again, looking at A, I look down at my x value, I see 8. I look to the left at my y value, I see 7. We put those numbers together, forming the ordered pair 8, comma 7. Now I'm going to look at point O. I first need to identify point O on the coordinate plane, which is right here. I identify it and I look down at my x value and I see 4. And I look to the right and I look to the left, excuse me, and I see that I have the number 1 here. So notice I've identified O, I looked down and I saw 4. Then I look to the left at my y-axis and I notice that I see the number 1. That is going to be known as my y value. And I can confirm this is correct if I look at 4, comma 1 and pretend I want to graph that. Will I land at point O? So I start at the origin, I go to the right 4 spaces, and then I go up 1. And in fact, I do land at point O, which means what I represented as my ordered pair 4, comma 1 is correct. Now looking here again, I have the same coordinate plane with the same points, but it's asking me this time to plot the following points on the coordinate grid, or you can say coordinate plane. I'm going to actually put this in a different, I'll use red here to help us identify these points. So here I have point X, which they gave us an ordered pair of 6, comma 3. So I'm going to always start at my origin and I'm going to go to the right 6 spaces along my x-axis and stop at 6 because that was the number given to me in this ordered pair. Then I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3 spaces, and that's giving me point X, which we always label our points with a letter as a capital letter. And that's giving me the ordered pair 6, comma 3 labeled as point X. Now notice again, if I look down, I see 6 along my x-axis. And if I look to the left, I see 3 along my y-axis, which you can in fact label your y and your x-axis to help make this a little bit easier. Now, the next point given is G, and the ordered pair is 7, comma 7. So what I'm going to first do is always start at my origin 0, and I'm going to go the right 7 spaces. I'm going to stop at 7. Then I'm going to go up 7 spaces as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to first plot the point, and then I need to label it with a capital letter G, representing point G. Now I confirm that's correct because if I look down, I see I have 7 as my X value, and if I look to the left, I see 7 as my Y value, which in fact is the given ordered pair in this problem. Today's activities, you will be given a coordinate plane with points on it, and you will be given a series of questions to answer just like the ones from this video. Now, as always, you always start at your origin 0 to help you. Then, your ordered pair consists of an X and a Y value. X is always before Y. So remember, it's just like walking into your hotel. You're going to figure out what person you're going to check in. Then they're going to tell you what floor to go up. How many floors are you going up? And that's your Y value. You always start at the origin, go to the right, and then up when you are given a positive X and Y value. So as always, feel free to refer back to this video at any time to help you with today's activities.